G'day everybody, I'm just going to go through the term 2 week 2 check-in. So it was surds using the operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. So you can see how you went. So let's simplify this. Now we can't add these two together at the moment for A because they're different surds, but if we simplify them we may be able to. So root 100 is just 10. That's one of the easy ones you should be familiar with, square number. Root 18 is really root 9 times root 2. Now root 9 simplifies to 3. So we've got 10 plus 3 root 2. Now we can't add those together because one's a 10 and one's a root 2. So we simply write 10 plus 3 root 2 and we leave it like that. We can't group those together. It's like adding x's and y's. You can't add them together because they're not like families. Maybe in this one we'll be able to do a little bit of adding together or subtracting. Now we'll notice we've got root 5, root 50 and root 125. We can't group them all together at the moment because they're all different surds. However, if we simplify each of them, then we may be able to group some of them, if not all of them. So root 5 we can't simplify because it's not a square number that goes evenly into that, so that's just 8 root 5. Root 50 is really root 25 times root 2, so there's a square number 25 that goes evenly into it, so I'm going to break it up like that. Then we've got the minus 2 times now root 125. Root 25 goes in, 25 goes into that, so I'm going to split it like that. So root 25 times 5. So this is really a 5, and that's really a 5 as well. So what have I got? I've got an 8 root 5 plus a 5 root 2. Now I've got this 2 times that 5. That makes that a 10 root 5. Sorry, it keeps focusing on my hand, so I'll try and get my hand out of it. So this part here actually simplifies to a 10. So what have we got? We've got 8 root 5 minus a 10 root 5. Now 8 root 5 minus 10 root 5 is minus 2 root 5. And then I've got this 5 root 2 here. We can't add those together because one's a root 5 and one's a root 2. It doesn't matter what order you put these. You could have put the 5 root 2 first and the minus 2 root 5 second, which is typically what I do. I didn't normally put the positive term first, but in this case it really doesn't matter at all. This one here, C. So again, I'm going to simplify it first. So I know a 4 goes into that and a 9 goes into that. So I'm going to go root 4 times root 11 minus 2 times root 9 times root 11. So it looks like they're going to both be root 11. So I'll be able to do something with that. Now root 4 is a 2. That root 9 is a 3. So 7 times 2, that's really a 14 root 11 minus a 6 root 11. Now 14 root 11 minus 6 root 11 is 8 root 11. And we leave our answer as that. D. So now we're up to multiplying surds. So when we multiply surds, we just multiply whatever's underneath the surd sign. So root 8 times root 5 is root 40. Now you could leave your answer like that. However, you should always simplify when you can. I know 4 goes evenly into this. So root 4 times root 10. You know, this line here where you see me splitting it up, that's a line that once you get good at surds, you don't need to do all the time. Okay. So root 4 times root 10. Root 4 is 2. So it just becomes 2 root 10. I think after a bit of practice, you can go straight from that line to that line. No problems at all. You don't need to show me that you're splitting up like that, as long as you're getting it right. The next one's a division. So always with divisions, I tend to write them as fractions and then simplify where I can. Okay, so we know that 2 goes in at 6 3 times. It leaves that as a 1. Now this one here, there's a rule in surds that root A on root B, which is what this is really the same as the square root of A on B. So you could split this up. You could write it as a single surd. What I tend to do though is I tend to do this. I know I've got a root 7 on the bottom. I can break this up into the product of two numbers where one of them is a root 7. I know it's not a square number, but it doesn't matter because what's going to happen is that that's going to cancel with that. And that's what I want to do. I want to cancel out where I can. So what am I left with? I'm left with a 3 root 6. Just see if you can simplify that. You can't simplify root 6 at all because it's not a square number that goes evenly into it. So you leave your answer as that. Okay, the last one, the hardest one. So what have we got? I've just rewrote it here just so you can see a little bit better. 3 root 90 times 5 root 8 over 3 root 32 times 4 root 10. I'm going to split these up into certain things that I know are going to cancel out. For example, that root 10 there, I can split that up to have a root 10, so that will cancel. This root 32, I can split it up so it's got a root 8, so that will cancel. So there's going to be lots of things that can go. So let's just do that. So 3 times root 9 times root 10 times 5 times, I'll make that a root 4 times a root 8. Root 4 times root 2. Oh, no, I'm going to leave it as a root 8. Look at me go. That's all right. So I'm going to leave it as a root 8 because I know I can get a root 8 in here. It really is 2 root 2, but there's no point in doing it. It's not a bad thing. So root 4 times root 8. So 32 is really root 4 times root 8, because 4 eighths are 32. And I've got a root 10 here. You'll notice I put little times signs everywhere. You don't need them all there. You can just line them all up next to each other. It just might mean that you're not interpreting it as a plus or something like that. Okay, so let's do some cancelling out. So that root 10 can cancel out with that root 10. That root 8 can cancel out with that root 8. This root 9 is really a 3. That root 4 is really a 2. What else can go in here? So that 3 can go with that 3. I think that's about it. So what have we got left? I've got 3 times 5, which is 15. I've got that 2 times that 4, which is 8. And that's your answer in its simplest form. So the easiest way to do divisions, even with multiplications, you could multiply these two numbers together, then you get a really big number, then you've got to sort of break it down even more. So maybe leave it separate, cancel that where you can, and what's left will be your answer. Okay. Hope that helps, and look forward to doing some more maths with you later.